We've been on and off again and again. I don't know which way we're going, no control. You push me, then you pull me back in. Don't know if I can decipher how your mind works. Yeah, you leave me wondering what it's like to feel your skin. I will keep on trying till you give me a sign. Give me a sign. Oh, give me a sign. Baby, give me a sign.
Hi ladies, as many of you, I am doing a home reset for New Year and I'm starting with my kitchen. And I thought it would be a great idea to kind of share the process with you and also kind of my tips on how to reset your kitchen to make it more functional. So I'm kind of showing you the areas that I'm gonna be decluttering, organizing, just really making it more functional for me and my family. So I typically go through my kitchen probably twice a year, and typically January is when I do it, and then sometime in the summer. It is usually because after, the holidays, there is just a lot of stuff that I have in my pantry, in my cabinets, and that's usually when I will notice that, either I got some new things for Christmas and I just need to get rid of some old ones. So that is kind of usually my trigger for decluttering the kitchen. So anytime you get new things, new appliances, new dishes, new glasses, anything new for the kitchen, this is a good time to kind of go through your stuff and see where those things are gonna fit, what can you get rid of to make space for the new things, and see if there is anything you want to change as far as the function of your kitchen, how it functions for you. So in my case, the big thing that I wanted to do is I got a toaster oven for our kitchen. We never had one. I have been wanting one for a while, but my kitchen counter space is very limited. So I wanted to make sure that I change kind of, what I have on my countertop to make space for that toaster oven, and then to basically I had to get rid of some of the things that were there. So I was trying to figure out how to do that. As I was going through my cabinets, I noticed one, some of them were overflowing with stuff, so I knew I had to go through and kind of see what I have there. And two, I know that I had some things in there that I no longer used that I could get rid of. So as an example, and you're gonna see that later on in the video, getting a toaster oven meant that I could get rid of my air fryer. I do not need both. I also had a rice cooker that I wanted to get rid of because I thought it was a good idea to have it, that I can just plug it in and make rice without having to pay attention to it. And I don't like it. I'm probably in the minority here, but it just takes forever. It's so much easier if I just put it on a stovetop and do. So that was another thing I wanted to get rid of. And that corner is where the toaster oven is gonna go. So this is where I'm kind of clearing off that area. What I have noticed when I was kind of looking around in all my cabinets, countertop, the coffee station area that I have set up. While we drink coffee every single day, I use that espresso machine every morning. We no longer use we had like 3 kinds of sugars. We don't use that anymore. We haven't in months. So I knew it was just kind of cluttering my space. So I thought it would be a perfect time to move those into the cabinet and make space for this toaster oven. So that is something what I would highly recommend is, if you are trying to figure out kind of the better function for your kitchen, look around and see, kind of do an audit of, what you're using, how you're using it, how it's functioning. Does it flow the way you want it? I'm gonna kind of walk you through some other stuff within my kitchen, why I moved certain things into a different location. But that's kind of always what I keep in mind. What would make my house function better? So in this case, my kitchen function better. What's gonna make my mornings and evenings easier when I'm trying to, whether it's making coffee or, cook dinner or prep any sort of food. Is it flowing? Am I saving time, or am I taking additional steps because of where my things are located? So that is something that I always keep in mind as I am changing things around, how it's actually going to work. And sometimes, I do have to give it a try for a few weeks to see if it actually helped. And if it did not, then we move on to the next idea, how to make it more functional. So those are the things I need to move to a different location, and these ones are the ones that I am getting rid of. I'm decluttering and donating or throwing away. So that's another tip I have for you. If you have a kitchen that's on a smaller side, especially, try to keep only the things that you are using on a regular basis in there. So anything that I don't use very often, I move to a storage that I have in my basement so that I know I can still access that. I know I'm using it. It's just not often enough for me to have it in the kitchen. And that allows me to then have just more open space in my cabinets. So it's just visually more appealing, and it doesn't get as cluttered as it used to. If you watch my videos way back, you're gonna see that my kitchen looked very different a few years ago. So the next kitchen reset tip that I have for you is to make sure you are continuing to declutter the shelves or the areas of your kitchen that tend to get cluttered the most. For us, this would be like the snack portion of the pantry. There are a few shelves over there, especially the bin with candy, and especially around this time of the year, because I feel like after Halloween and we have then Christmas, and it's just my kids get all kinds of random candy from all over the place, and they don't eat a lot of it. They don't like some of it or most of it, but they don't want to get rid of it at first because they will try it and they just got it, so they don't want to get rid of it. So by this point, I am just decluttering because I know they have way too much and they just are not gonna eat it. So they were watching me do it. If you're wondering, nobody raised any questions or stopped me. I just know that this is the area that I need to kind of go through from time to time. Snacks, breakfast items, just to make sure that I haven't, like, nothing kind of got lost in the bag. But then again, that's where it goes back to that previous tip. The more organized I have it, the less things I'm storing there, the less likely it is that something is gonna expire, that I didn't notice that I actually have something, and buy another item in a store. So look through the areas that where there is a lot of the things that you're using, snacks, whether it is baking goods, and just go through it on a regular basis, whatever that means for you, to make sure that you stay organized in those specific areas. And those areas are going to be different for me as they are for you. But the point is to just stay on top of that before it gets too disorganized. And as I was going through this pantry, I started to think, how I can better utilize those shelves. So because I got rid of some of the appliances that I had on the bottom shelf, the air fryer and the rice cooker, it freed up some space for me. I also got rid of some of the snacks from here that my kids no longer eat. So I had some extra space to work with. So I was trying to figure out how I can organize it a little better. So this is why I'm kind of rearranging this. I decided to put all the items that typically go in a lunchbox in one area. So it's just a little quicker for whether it's for my kids or for my husband, or sometimes for me to put the lunchboxes together. And I just kind of put all the breakfast items in one area. So just kind of make it more functional that way. And those are just sometimes very tiny changes, very tiny tweaks that you do. It's just, as you are going through your kitchen, just keep thinking about those things. How to always ask how to make it more functional, how to make it more efficient for me, so things just get done a little quicker because I don't have to look in many different places. The next kitchen reset tip that I have for you is to always declutter first. Don't think about organizing or how this is gonna look like. Don't think about buying new containers until you actually declutter first. So if you have a very cluttered cabinet, pantry, first get rid of the things and then try to think about how am I gonna organize it, how am I gonna arrange things. Because if you concentrate on kind of the organization portion of it first, you're gonna find yourself with just a nicely organized clutter instead of things that you just need. So I have been doing this for a few years now. So there are things that you might be like, well, you just organize some things. You'll notice I first decluttered things. I didn't organize it first. I first took things out, got rid of what I didn't need, and then kind of went from there. Do I need a different container? Can I put this one in a bigger one? That's kind of where the organization is just much more beneficial for you when you are organizing only the things that you're actually still keeping. One of the things that I did want to do is trying to see if I can add some levels to my shelves to just keep things more organized. That's why you see me in a second, you're gonna see me assembling those kind of 2-level shelves for the cabinets, and I was still playing around in a few areas where to put them. Now I'm gonna link them down below in case you wanted to check it out. However, I will tell you that they're good for the purpose of being in a cabinet. If it's something that you would want to use as a display, I would recommend finding something better, because they were just, for me, some of the details were just not well made. Like you could see a little imperfections in a lot of places. So they were inexpensive, but maybe that's why it kind of shows on them. But on Amazon they have so many different options. But again, going back to it, first declutter, then clean, and then organize.
I'm not heading for the stars, driving down the boulevard at night, playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. And it doesn't even matter to me where I go, I just feel I need to take a ride. Got my coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air.
And the last tip that I have for you in this video as far as kitchen reset goes is to really think about your kitchen from a perspective of how your family uses that. not like, how I use it, not from a perspective of something you see on social media. It has to be specific to you. And that's why, you don't see a lot of the things that are happening in between, because this video will be very, very long. But it takes me really quite a bit of time to figure out where anything goes. I put that round a tray on the top, on the bottom, on the side. You name it. I'm only showing you kind of as I got to the end of it, because we would be very confused as what's happening. But it's a process. You need to try it out, see if it actually works, if it fits, if it makes sense. It's keep that in mind anytime you're watching any video or listening to any advice. That one, it just because it works for somebody else, it may not work for you or your kitchen. And two, you will tend to see kind of the end result, and the process may seem very seamless and straightforward. It is not. So it's a lot of back and forth and trying to figure out what's going to work best. And this is the kind of the end result, but keep that in mind. It took a while to get here. So for me, I decided to put like the blender and kettle over there, and that water bottle didn't really fit anywhere. So for now, I put it there. On the lower one, I put all my like coffee things and tea and some like breakfast item I have in a bag in that container. And you can see I was trying to really show you that there is a lot of space in there, which is what I like. And then I organized this one with which is kind of like our bread cabinet. So there are still things, as I was looking, as far as organizing like bakery or baking supplies that could use some refinement. But, there is no rush to get everything perfectly done. Sometimes you just need time to kind of see how it works and see what else you can do. But I am very happy with the end result. Everything looks like there is quite a bit of empty space in there, which is exactly the way I like it. So hopefully you enjoyed those tips, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.
Cause you know